I'm Pete Mundo on Heartland College Sports. Thank you for being here. We appreciate that. Let me give you now my 3 picks against the spread for the weekend. I give you an underdog, I give you a lock, and I give you a bad bet, meaning a bet I would not make. I'm going to bet the other side of that bad bet. I was 0-3 last week. Baylor totally screwed me at the end. My other 2 picks were just not good, but Baylor's the one that really stings. So I'm going to give you my underdog pick first. My underdog for week 5 in the Big 12 Conference is Colorado plus 14.5 at UCF. In large part, it's because of UCF's style of play. UCF is going to want to run the ball. And by the way, Colorado's run defense has actually been halfway decent. I'm not going to say it's been stout, but it has been halfway decent when you actually look at some of the numbers and how they've been playing the last couple of weeks. So that side of the ball, at least when it comes to the run defense, is not as concerning to me. The pass defense is more concerning to me in many respects for Colorado than the run defense right now. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying UCF wants to win this game on the ground. That is also just not a recipe for blowing a team out. And I think that Colorado can keep up with UCF. Listen, Shedeur Sanders is going to be drafted highly next spring. And UCF's weakness right now is in its secondary. UCF is right now 12th out of 16 teams in the Big 12 in passing yards allowed per game. They're 11th in defensive passing efficiency in the Big 12. Colorado wants to whip it around. They can keep themselves offensively in this game. I think they'll get worn down late, but at 14.5 points, I'm going to take Colorado plus the points. Now, the wise guys, I admit, are not with me on this. There's a lot of money that went quickly into UCF. It opened up at UCF minus 11, and after that, it moved to UCF minus 14 to 14.5. I'm taking the 14.5. Maybe it's a sucker bet to some of you, but I don't care. I'm taking it. That's too many points in this game. UCF is going to be, or I don't think Colorado is necessarily going to be hung over because they got the big noon kickoff, and UCF has to deal with all the pageantry around the big noon kickoff, and they've been told by their fans for the last 2 weeks because they had a bye week that they're awesome. And they were awesome in the second half against TCU. They weren't awesome in the first half. So let's not overstate that either. Colorado plus 14 is my underdog pick of the week in the Big 12. Now, next up, I'll give you my bad bet of the week. Oklahoma State plus 5 is a bad bet. I am going to go with Kansas State minus the 5 in this game against Oklahoma State. Now, first off, and I mentioned some of this earlier, but Oklahoma State's offense is a mess. Their yards per play is down near the bottom in the country. Ollie Gordon hasn't rushed for over 50 yards since the opener. The offensive line can't block for him. And going up against Kansas State, that's going to be a problem. It is. I mean, we know what Kansas State does well. They play the run well. They're third best against the run right now in the Big 12. Oklahoma State is third worst in rushing offense in the Big 12. That means Alan Bowman on the road's got to win you a game passing the ball. The guy was benched last week against Utah. Now, Kansas State has been more vulnerable against the pass, but still, it's not like Oklahoma State is lighting things up exactly. They're not. Kansas State playing at home, pissed off, coming off of that loss at BYU, knowing that loss was not as bad as the final score. Kansas State's going to be focused. They're at home in this game, and I like them to win and cover the 5-point spread for the Wildcats. And I will give you this little tidbit. If you're a bettor and you like things like this, Chris Kleiman is 18-8 against the spread as a home favorite. 18-8 against the spread as a home favorite. Sign me up for that. I will take those odds, especially coming into this game with what Kansas State is coming off of. There you go. On the bad bet is Oklahoma State plus 5. That means I'm on Kansas State minus 5 in that game. And now for my lock of the week. My lock of the week is going to be Baylor minus 3 against BYU. Baylor's coming off this game where they should have beaten Colorado. They lose because of a Hail Mary. That has stung this team all week long, that they should have won that game. Now they find themselves in this situation where they're going home, they're ticked off, and they're taking on a BYU team that is feeling itself. BYU's 4-0. Nobody predicted that before the season. Who would have ever seen that coming, right? Well, here they are. Are they getting a little too much love? Are they getting a little too big for themselves? We'll find out on Saturday, but I'm betting that they are. I think that this BYU team is good, but going on the road and winning in the Big 12 is a completely different animal. And let's be honest, last week's win was impressive, but it was not as impressive as the final score would indicate. So BYU also is a team that loves to win and win at home. They're just different on the road. And we wrote about this at Heartland College Sports. It came from Reddit. BYU is 28-3 in night games since 2019. They are 9-14 in day games, including 10 straight daytime losses against FBS opponents. Now they go to Baylor, who's pissed off, and Dave Aranda may be coaching for his job. I'm taking Baylor minus the points here. And by the way, the big money is on that number as well. So 80% of the tickets are betting BYU +3, but the line hasn't changed. It opened up at Baylor -3. It has not moved off of Baylor -3. That means those 20% of tickets are holding the line at -3. Those are the big bets coming in on Baylor minus the 3 points. So sign me up for that. My lock of the week is Baylor -3. My bad bet is Oklahoma State +5, meaning I'm on K-State -5. And my underdog is Colorado +14.5 at UCF. There you go. Let's get some wins this week. I'm Pete Mundo. We are Heartland College Sports. Thank you for being here, for joining us. Subscribe if you have not done that yet. We appreciate you doing that. There are thousands of you watching the show who have not yet done it. Hit that button, whether it's on iTunes, Spotify, or on YouTube, and drop us that 5-star rating and review and a comment. Enjoy the games. We're back on Sunday for our reaction show, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great day, and go Big 12.